This is the Cold Steel Prolite. I like the way the Sentient named the blade. I think it was him anyway. Sorry if it wasn't, but I believe he was the one that said, would you call that a worn poon? It's like kind of like a worn cliff in a way. It is a drop point. You can also get this knife in a Tonto. You can also get it in a clip point. But this knife is called the Sport. It's the Prolite Sport. These knives were originally released in 2016. They run for a few years. They discontinued them, and they are freshly back on the market. So far, I don't think the blue variants with the blue GFN handle are available, but you can get all three of these variants in the black GFN as for now. This is the Rat 1. That's a Rat 2. Chavez. As you can see, like the overall length of the Prolite is right at, I mean, it's 8 inches exactly, I believe. Maybe just a tad shorter, but I mean, we're talking about like 7 and 15 and a half sixteenths or some shit like that, right? And the Chavez is a little over. I have used this knife. It came by way of Dopey. Dopey, I very much appreciate it. He gave it to us to do what we will with it. I did set it up for left-hand carry. When I did this, I removed the screws from this side, from this scale, and I wasn't aware that there was a little metal insert on the inside of this scale that would hold the screws in, and that makes sense. But after I put the pocket clip on this side, I heard the knife was rattling. I could shake it and I could hear something rattling. I wasn't sure what it was. I was on the road. I really didn't have what I needed to take take apart a lock back. So I was just shaking, trying to figure out what was going on, and a little insert come loose and fell out. I did something with the insert. I'm not sure exactly what I did with it. So as of right now, it's probably stuck as a left-handed carry. I probably will try to do a disassembly on this. If you guys want to see it, of course, I'll definitely don't mind putting it on the video. What I like about the knife is the same things that I liked about the Finn Wolf. This one's about 50 bucks. I gave about 44 for my Finn Wolf. You can find a Finn Wolf around the $39 area or the price range. This one's a little bit more expensive, but it's also a little bit more comfortable in hand, in my opinion. It has a much more versatile blade, in my opinion. Of course, we got, the Finn Wolf does have that Scandi grind, and this is just going to have a flat grind on this blade. I'm not sure about the clip point or the Tonto, but this is my favorite blade out of the three, just for looks. Aesthetically, drop point is a very, very versatile blade for a lot of different tasks. So like, there's nothing wrong with having a drop point either. But aesthetically, I think this one looks great. The action's not so bad, especially on open. Close, I can get it to close one-handed about 50% of the time. It is a pretty tough, like you got to push down a little bit more. And when you think you push down enough, push down just a little bit more, and it'll close. It's not terrible, it's just a tough lock. But yeah, you can operate it one-handed. I very much enjoy carrying it. I mean, I had a lot of fun carrying this knife. It's one I was carrying whenever I come out with that short about the Taiwanese candy. But what's to say? Okay, so it is in 4116 steel. On this one, they got it marked German 4116 steel. Not sure if that'll pick up. And this is the old one with the old font. It kept an edge pretty well, especially for a budget steel. I was proud of it. It did just as well as some other things. It actually. Where is that knife at? Okay, I don't even see it. Oh, there it is. I used it as a size comparison earlier. So this is the S35VN Rat, and this knife took about as much work as this knife to get it to dull. And so like both of them are dull, and I'm glad. I'm running through my hand sharpening uh, processes and see if I can do that without screwing anything up. But that 4116 steel, it's supposed to be like an AUS 8CR, something to that extent. It is a double quenched heat treat. No, it's a quenched. It's yeah, it's a cryo heat treat, and it's double stone wash is the finish on the blade. So that's what's going on there. Sorry, that wasn't double cryo. But whatever kind of heat treat process they used, edge retention was not bad. You know, it was on par with S35VN from Ontario. I'm happy with that. It did just as much work, or you know, almost anyway. I didn't record the testing, so it's like it is what it is. I carried it about an equal amount of time. I didn't get in a hurry when I got this knife from Dopey to do that, because I wanted to carry it. I wanted to carry it for a while. I wanted to check it out, see what was going on. He gave it to me. He just said it wasn't his style. He said we could do whatever we wanted to with it. Initially, I wanted to give it away on the channel, and I think I'll keep this one and maybe buy another one now that they're re-released and give it away on the channel instead, because like I may have screwed that up. And another thing is like it just come from Dopey, you know, like so like I kind of like to just hang on to it because you know it come from Dopey. But the main thing is because I may have screwed this up, like for anybody that might want to carry it right-handed, but that's okay. You know, like I'll grab one up in the future. I do want to grab up another Fenwolf and just kind of do a side-by-side comparison in the future. Maybe do some versus tests when we get our thing set up outside. We do got a tripod, but this knife, pleasure to use, very comfortable in hand. A GFN. I'm not the biggest fan. It feels cheap. I mean, it feels cheap on any of the cold steel stuff like the, but it's not. You know, I mean, it may be cheap or maybe inexpensive material, but it is durable. Like, you know, like there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it in the Formax. There's nothing wrong with it in the Fenwolf. It just, you know, it doesn't feel like a premium material. But you're not paying a premium price. You know, you get the Formax for $69 on Amazon sometimes, or Midway. You get this knife for $50 at Blade HQ, and the Fenwolf comes in at like $34 or something like that on Blade HQ. So, you know, and they're not premiumly priced. So like, they are comfortable, no hot spots. You know, like on the pocket clips or anything like that. So like, I'm not here to beat up on the choices that they've made in the handle material. Do I wish they would come out with something that was a little more premium on the handle material, maybe a G10, or I mean, I say that, and I took the G10 off of the Red Rat and used the GFN handles off of the standard Rat, and you know, like replace, you know, these are G10. This is like fiberglass, nylon, whatever, FRN, GFN, something. And you know, I'm preferring these scales, but I prefer these scales because they don't feel as cheap as this does, and I think it's the texturing that gives it that, maybe like an unfinished molded, you know, like in the crevices and stuff like that. You know, it's just fit and finish. Like I'm being pretty tough on it. I'm being pretty tough on it, and I do want to reiterate that I do love this knife, man. Like, so I'm only calling out what I'm noticing, and it's not going to change the fact at the end of the day that I do like to carry this knife, and I will continue to carry this knife. Makes a great work knife, and to be honest, I wouldn't mind having a few of them around. You know, it'd be great knives to introduce people into the community with a little bit of work. You can, you know, it was pretty tight when I got it. Loosened it up a little bit and Loctited it to where I wanted it. You know, like made sure the blade centering was still good, and it was. Oh, you can actually move it and it just stays now. so I can move it from one side to the next and it just stays. So it may be a little loose. I may need to go back in there and break that Loctite up. While it's open, there's no wobble. Like there's like a, not really a wobble. Like you can feel that it's not rock solid, but it's not going anywhere, if that makes any sense. I will do more videos on this knife, I think, in the future. We may do a series of it. Depends, like I'm not sure if I think we will. I think I'll do a series on this one, and run it through the paces. She doesn't care about triad locks at all. So when she asked me, she said, "What knife are you gonna do a video on?" I told her. She's like, "I'll set that one out. I got stuff I need to do." I said, "Okay." So like she doesn't care much about the back locks at all, or the lock backs at all. So, but like that don't bother me at all. Like I like them. I think they're, this is a Demko design, and 5.2 ounces. No. That can't be right. That's another knife I was looking at. I'm sorry. Just a second. This is a Demko design. I'll get the scale. Okay, so it's coming in at 88 grams and 3.1 ounces. That's better. And it does have a 3.5 inch blade, so it does fall right there in that area for that. It's lighter than the inch per ounce thing. So like if you're one of those guys that cares about a lightweight knife, this one gives you an 8 inch overall length with a 3.5 inch blade. And about a 3.25 inch cutting edge, maybe a little less than 3.25, but real close to 3.25 inch cutting edge, and it gives you a 4.5 inch handle, so just about any hand is gonna fit it perfectly. It fits great with any grip. Like there's just nothing to complain about. I'm not saying it's a perfect knife. I'm definitely not gonna say it's a perfect knife for you. I'm saying it's $50 and it works. And so like you can make your own decisions as to whether it's right for you. As for me, I think this thing blows the fin wolf out of the water, and you guys know that I love the fin wolf. So we'll call this video there. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them below. If you're not subscribed and made it this far, we could really use you around the channel. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the flip side.